I was,
You
yeah, I mean,
renegotiated that
you know,
one.
it was me, Rock, and Austin.
Yep.
You know, I mean, that was the
it.
deal. And, you know, they just said to her, that's absolutely ridiculous. You know, and she blew her own deal with Vince. And she can spin it any way she wants and try to blame it on anything she wants. She blew her own deal with Vince. They were more than willing to give her a hell of a contract, let her just work TVs, and push her in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
More than willing to do that. She just let the whole thing go away. And I think what she thought is, I don't need you. You know what I mean? I don't need you. She thought at the time, you know, that she had some talks with some people, I believe, about Terminator 3 at the time and about Wonder Woman and all this stuff, and she blew all of that. And I mean, it's just a downward spiral. And now, you know, obviously, if you're putting out a porno video, a home porno video of yourself, not to knock anybody that does that, but if you've been to those heights and then now you're putting out a home porn movie to make some cash on the side.
That's exactly why we were sad yesterday.
A little reflection.
And what's going on with her clit?
Jesus.
Yeah, dude, I don't know.
No, I'm dead serious. Jim thinks it's the hottest thing ever.
Hottest thing ever. I like that.
It's a little too big. It looks like, I don't know.
Looks lovely.
It's like a thumb. It's like,
Christ.
There's something going on there. It makes me a little nervous, but, you know, Jim loves it. He thinks it's the best when they're nice and puffy and big like that.
My thing. We all have our thing. That's my thing.
Hey, you got to have your thing going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Makes me
You could
happy.
be into some weirder stuff than that.
I'm amazed how many people leave wrestling think they're going to be just absolutely huge without Vince, and then it just never happens.
It's unbelievable.
Over and over again.
It's unbelievable. And you know what? The weird thing is, and I don't mean to say this in like a knocking fashion, but it happens to the women more than it happens to the guy. I've seen it happen to more
What's
women.
her name? I forgot her name.
Sable.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
she
Sunny,
thought
Sunny,
yeah.
Sable, China. I mean,
They think they're bigger than the wrestling.
yeah, they get to a certain point, and it's like the fall off the cliff point is Playboy.
Right.
It's
right.
It's like they get the offer or they do Playboy, and then like the next day they're like, "And you're going to do what for me,
Yeah.
Mr. McMahon?"
Screw you. You know how many
yeah.
offers I've had last night over the phone?
You know, and it's like the second they don't even get it because the second they get off the TV, the phone stops ringing.
Right.
You know, oh wait, Vince is not behind you with the promotional vehicle anymore. You're not getting seen by 20 million people
That's
a week
it.
anymore. I'm sorry. Who are you again?
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
why the people are calling you in the first place is because of the forum you have in front of that many people
Yeah.
on the wrestling. And also, it's pretty much your identity. She
Sure.
can't use China
No.
anymore, and
No.
no one cares who Joni is.
Exactly.
And you got to realize that's where your fame is
She
coming
fought Joey Buttafuoco.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That was brutal.
Would they take her back in wrestling now or no?
No.
At this point, I'd highly doubt it. I'd highly doubt it. You know, I mean, up to the point of maybe where, up to this porno point, you know,
Yeah,
maybe
right.
I think there's a line you cross there where it's just
Yeah,
like,
then
how
it's a
can
little
you-
rough to cross
how can
back
you-
over.
Yeah, how can you go back to that? You know, I mean, so I would highly doubt it. I mean, it's kind of the end of the road, I think, there in a lot of ways.
How many of the guys own their name? Do you own Triple H?
No,
Or you don't?
No. There's a few guys that own bits and pieces of it, like, you know, Steve Austin. I think owns Steve Austin, but he doesn't own Stone Cold. You know,
right.
But the thing is, even if he did, it's not about just the name. It's about the promotion that comes
Right.
with, and not only that, but the fans that come with it. And that's what I don't understand. What people get. It's like when people ask me if I'm going to leave wrestling to go to Hollywood. You know what? Even if I got hurt tomorrow and couldn't wrestle anymore, but I could still make movies, I would still stay in wrestling in some way.
Mm-hmm.
You can't walk away from what brought you to the dance. Not to mention the fact that I love it, which is why I would stay for no other reason, not
Right.
fans or anything like that. I love it, so I would stay. But on the other side of that, you can't walk away from all that. The people that brought you there, the fans that got you there, the guy that got you there.
Yeah.
You know, it to me is like, you know, when I do the red carpet stuff, it's like I want to put Vince over as much as I can, because it just if the way I see it, if I can go make a movie and there's, you know, a lot of people that watch the movie go, this guy's pretty good, he's a wrestler, huh? When's that on? Mondays? And they tune in to watch that. It helps the wrestling business. They wash each other's backs, you know what I mean? And it just works out for everybody. I've never understood the other way.
The
I just
Rock
don't get
seems
it.
to have really done well as far as doing that, keeping a good relationship with the wrestling, and then going out and doing his movies and stuff. But he's not saying, you know, blowing off wrestling totally.
Right.
And it's a good business move too. You know,
Sure.
he's able to promote his stuff in front of a huge audience.
Sure, and I think that's important for him to do. You know, I think there are some fans that think Rock did because he's never around, and I think there are some fans that are disappointed that he's left, but they're very excited when he comes back, and he does come back enough where fans are still feel like you said, he's not just turned his back on them and walked away and said, to hell with you. He's kind of kept a foot in the door, and that's cool. It's kind of I've always felt it's kind of like what Arnold did with bodybuilding. He walked away from it. He didn't compete anymore. But he's always had a foot in either a gym or he's got his own show or, he talks about bodybuilding when he goes on.
Or he's smoking pot with Tommy Chong.
Or something like that.
We had Tommy Chong on. He's like, I used to get high with Arnold all the time.
Likes his weed.
Yeah, he likes his weed, all right.
He's smoking pot and pumping iron.
Let's go to the phone. It's Phil in New York. What's up, Phil?
What's up, boys? How you doing?
We're talking to Triple H.
Triple H, man. Good job in Blade. You got some acting chops.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Listen, I got a little question for you. What transpired between you and Goldberg? Because didn't you guys have a problem for a while, and then he came, and you guys seem to work together pretty good.
Yeah, it was really, I think, just a misunderstanding. I think Bill, he's a good guy, but he's kind of a hothead, I think, he read some stuff on an internet, and I don't know whether it was stuff I actually said, where it very well could have been or not have been. I've never hidden the fact, and I've said it to Bill that he's not a great wrestler. He's had a hell of an image and all that stuff, but he wasn't necessarily a great wrestler technically, And he read some stuff, pissed him off. But the stupid thing that he did was, and this is because he's a hothead, is we were at a toy fair together in I think New York City. I was at an autograph booth signing, and I actually was with Steph, and I'm at a booth, and I hear somebody yelling, and I knew he was there, but I didn't think anything of it. He was at the WCW booth, and I heard somebody yelling, and when I looked up, it was Goldberg, like 20 feet from me, with nobody between us, just yelling, swearing at me and saying, I'll kick your fucking ass, and all this stuff, and at first I thought he was kidding. Like, I thought it was one of those things where he was going to say a bunch of stuff because there were fans there and then kind of give me the smirk and walk off, Then I realized, like, this idiot's serious. And I started laughing, which made him madder.
Sure.
And, but, the thing was, there was nobody between. He made himself look like an ass. There was nobody between us. It was, and I laughed at him, and he got more, more agitated and threw a big fit and then took off through the crowd.
He didn't spear you?
No, he didn't. He didn't spear me. And
yeah, if you're going to yell and scream, there's no one between you and him.
Yeah,
you got to make your move.
So when he first came in,
everyone's brave when there's people.
Hold me back,
hold me back, man.
First day that he came to the WWE, I was, I didn't know what to expect, and I saw him. I was in catering, and I saw him walk in. So I got up and walked across the room. I wanted to just hit the confrontation right in the head, if it was going to happen. And I walked across the room, and as soon as I got to him, he grabbed me and hugged me and said, "We're going to make a lot of money together, man." And that was kind of the end of it. He just said, dude, I was just hothead. I made a mistake, and sorry. I said, well, you know what? If you ever have a problem, just pull the guy aside, man. Just pull him aside. Say, hey, you got a problem with me. Let's hash it out. I mean, that's how you do it. You don't.
Have you ever purposely hurt anyone in the ring?
No.
Come on.
No.
Just gave him a little extra because you were pissed at him backstage.
I've beat a guy up in the ring before. I beat fan up in the ring before too. Some fans up in the ring before too for hitting the ring. But I beat a guy.
I hear that goes on. I mean, you don't get along with everybody, and there's wrestlers that when they get in the ring with some of these guys, they'll give a little extra.
You know what? It's a situation though where in the ring, in what we do, I have to trust the guy I'm working with my body because I'm putting myself in positions where he can cripple me. He has to trust me with his.
That's
if I had
crazy,
a problem,
by the way.
if I had a problem with somebody, I'd handle it outside of the ring and not in the ring. There was just an incident not that long ago where one of our guys got mad at another guy and punched him in the face, blacked his eye, and beat him up pretty good in the ring. And, that guy came real close to getting fired. Vince was so mad. It's just something we don't tolerate in our business. Now, I've had a guy before, when I was in WCW one time, I just started there, and there was a young guy there that tried to, I think he thought, like, well, if I make myself look real good at his expense, maybe they'll give me a job. And, we got in the ring, we were having a match, and all of a sudden he just tried to take me down and jump on me, and then I just rolled him over, beat the crap out of him, and pinned him, and got out of the ring. And when we got to the back, I just, pulled him aside. What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
If you want to go, let's go right here, not there, and we hashed it out. But
all right, let's go to
a little extra something.
Let's go to Rev in Jersey. Rev, what's up?
What's up, boys?
Hey.
Triple H, best wrestler of all time. Just got to say it. I'm completely
Thanks,
floored to be on the phone with you, man.
well, thank you.
I got a ton of questions I want to ask you, but I'll just go with the first one. What are your thoughts on wrestling websites
and how they spoil the storylines. Particularly, they spoiled the Tough Enough winner. Punch it out, Maverick.
There he goes. Punching.
Yeah, that's got to be tough now that the internet is so popular. Where
Yeah.
you know, people go to these taped events and then give all the results on the fan sites, and everyone likes to go to the fan site, so it's getting, everything's getting ruined for them.
It's hard. I have a lot more respect for the ones that say like spoiler and
Yeah.
don't go here if you
Don't
don't want to
read it.
know. You know, the internet is a tough thing. You know, and I think it's in everything we do. I think that I guarantee the internet is part of the reasons the NBA's beating up fans. You know, because the fans know so much about you, and what they don't know, they make up, and they have their own opinions on, and there's so much of that out there, and that can really.
Are you talking about whackbag.com? we got the fan sites and the message boards that they think they know everything about it.
Yeah, it's the same in every business, and everybody knows everything about us, and everybody has their opinions and stuff, and it's all a joke. It's these people that don't even have. It's a 12-year-old kid in Podunk, or some guy that wished he was a wrestler and he's mad because he wasn't, or thinks he has a friend that knows this guy that's cousin's brother's uncle was in the office one day, and I mean it's just ridiculous, and it's a shame. And unfortunately, what we do in our business, there's a lot of it's a lot of impact and surprise stuff, like things that you're not expecting. And when we do things, it's like now at arenas we're having to like be careful, like. If we have something that we're going to do that we want to be a surprise, it's like nobody can know. We can't tell the other wrestlers. We can't tell the crew. If it's if we want to surprise and bring Rock out on the show, it's almost like we don't want to bring him to the building until he goes on live, because as soon as somebody sees him, they're on the phone with their friend who calls up the internet guy, and then it's on the internet, Rock's going to be at Raw tonight or whatever. It just kills everything. And then as a fan at home, it just kills the surprise, and it just ruins. It's like knowing the finish of the film, like 3/4 of the way through it, and the guy next to you goes, "I saw this yesterday. Watch this. The guy gets killed at the end."
Right.
It's just it's brutal.
Well, Bruce Willis was dead the whole movie.
Yeah, I know. That was great. I read that we have our instant feedback over here, and people can just email into us, and we read it on the fly as it goes by. And one day, years ago, I'm just sitting there. We're talking about movies and talking about Sixth Sense. And I look over, and all I see printed is Bruce Willis was dead the whole movie.
Oh.
I go, hey, thank you, you son of a bitch. You just wrecked that for me in like one sentence.
So then we had to say it on the air.
Yeah.
Of course, because it was ruined for me. We had to ruin it for
ruin
all
it for everybody.
You son of a
Misery
bitch, I'll
loves
show you.
company. Yeah. Yeah.
You ever read anything on message boards that like stuck in your head or pissed you off or something?
No, you know what? At first, especially when I first got with Steph, because it was like one of those things where, I was on top in the business and I was chairman. I was all these things and nobody had a problem with it. The second anybody found out that I was involved with Steph, it was all like I didn't deserve any of it. It was all, because I'm banging the boss's daughter now.
Now, did you sit there and read some of these and just go, you sons of bitches?
Every night, you know what? I would never go on. I don't even know how to turn a computer on. But every now and then somebody would show me something or give me something, like, oh, read this, and it would piss me off.
What lunatic's going to hand you something like that from a message board?
One of the other guys trying to piss me off. Yeah.
Like, you might want to read this.
Yeah.
And leave it on your locker or something.
And that got to me at first. Now I could care less. I mean, there's just so much of that out there that I could really care less about it. And there's just reports on everything because I have a behind-the-scenes relationship with somebody that's also important in the business. It's like the most talked-about thing, and there's always somebody with an opinion, or I did this, or I, threatened this guy that he was going to get fired if he didn't do that, like I have that ability, or, it's just, Pat Patterson, one of our agents, just left the business, and